Are they ever going to feel what you feel? Are they ever going to hurt the way you hurt? And this is what we want to know after a breakup. And I'm going to break your heart a little bit more first before I kind of reel it back in. So just hang tight. At first, no, they are not going to be in the position you are. If they made the choice to walk away from the relationship, they mentally prepared for it. They pictured a life without you. They feel as though this is as far as this relationship can go, and they were prepared for what is coming next, or they think they were prepared for it. On your end of it, it's like you fell off a cliff. It's like this is not what you wanted. You weren't prepared. You weren't ready for it. And you're certainly not in a place where you can accept what is happening. So at first, of course, they're not going to feel what it is you feel. You're going to be very alone in this pain because of what I just described. Even though you're both going through a breakup, you're having completely different experiences. Now, the little twist is if they broke up with you because of things that were going wrong in their life, whether they were struggling with events that were happening, their life was a little bit out of control, maybe they didn't want to commit because of reasons that they haven't shared with you yet, maybe they were in a place of getting too close was a little bit uncomfortable for them and they self-sabotaged. If any one of these are what has happened to you, they are going to feel it later, longer, and possibly heavier. So I want you to understand when a person comes for a breakup and you really weren't the actual problem, and I think it takes a little time for us to get there and know that the couple wasn't really the problem. It was more of what one person was bringing into the relationship that became the problem. Once they flee the relationship and think all of their answers are on the other side of it, then they have to sit over in that space, create that new life, and after that new life is created, look back and wonder if what they did was the right thing. Now, if they decide that they shouldn't have exited that relationship, that the couple really wasn't the problem, the problems were fixable, they made a decision for reasons we may not know right now, they're going to start feeling the regret and the loneliness and the shame of making a move that maybe they shouldn't have. So it is going to start weighing on them more and more and more if that breakup really wasn't what needed to happen. So they are going to carry it. They're human. And I know the comment section is going to be full. Oh, I don't think they ever think about it anymore. Well, I'm telling you, as speaking to humans every single day of my life, that of course people feel the regret and the remorse if they think that they exited a relationship that they didn't have to exit, that wasn't the right move for them. So while they don't feel the initial impact that you feel, because you're the one the rug is being pulled out from under you, they're feeling the impact now of making a decision that they thought was going to get them out of discomfort, out of pain, out of an uncomfortable place that they were in, but you weren't actually the problem. Now they have done it to themselves, so they exited the relationship on their own accord, choosing that, realizing maybe that wasn't the right answer, understanding the damage that they did in that breakup. They know how much they hurt you. They know how you feel. They know what they did. So now there's this, I don't want to say embarrassment, but also this feeling of, can I even go back that way? Look what a mess I made. I made an absolute mess. So can I get back to that relationship? Is it better to start elsewhere where I can just have a clean slate and not have to repair the damage that I've done? So they're going to be in their heads about a lot of different things. And if they don't put it back together again, they live with that regret. And that's sometimes where that Phantom X comes from. People thinking about that probably shouldn't have happened and I probably could have made it work if I just kind of plugged myself into that. So what they carry is much heavier because it was self-inflicted for them. It was a choice that they made that they thought was going to be the answer that didn't turn out to be the answer. And now have they gotten themselves into something new? Have they painted themselves into a corner? Did they start a brand new life where they feel like now they'd have to blow up that life in order to come back around into the life that they just walked away from? There's a lot of different things that are going on in their head. And then also all the feelings of how they treated you at the discard, because many times an exit like this is part of a discard. And so they have to go back and think, because they were in a very unhealthy space probably at the time of breakup, they were cold and cut you off and treated you in a certain way. And now they have to live with that because you know your person. We know our people and what they're capable of and not capable of. And also some of their feelings when they're not in a chaotic state of a breakup or that cold state of a discard. We know them on the regular when they are pretty good people and kind and caring and loving. So if that's your person, of course they're going to be affected by the damage that they did to you. So all of these things that we don't feel at first, we're so on different ends of the spectrum at the beginning of the breakup. The person who chooses it is in a much more stable place than the person who is on the receiving end of it. But as time goes on, everything does kind of switch up. And the person who went for the breakup, if that breakup wasn't really warranted, is going to go into their own heads and think about it and go over it and think about all the possibilities and also think about maybe what a mess they made because of the end of that relationship and the messiness. That's why I always say breakups are such a long, long process, because once a person gets there, they're really going to have to sit with the damage that they've done. Now, if you were with a person that the couple just really wasn't getting where they needed to get to, then the person who made the decision for the breakup, they could be sadder quicker and know that they had to make a decision because nothing was changing. They were bringing up the problems in the relationship. They were trying to work through it. You were having a good, healthy communication at some level, but nothing was really changing. They had to interrupt that process and kind of say, okay, like, we're not going to go down this road anymore. I'm getting off the hamster wheel. Now let's see if we can have some change on the other side. And they're going to feel the breakup a lot quicker. They're going to feel sadder about it immediately. They're probably not even going to have much of a relief stage. They're probably going to go straight into, I really don't like that I had to do that, but I didn't see any other possibility. But also they're going to be on the road to trying to create a new life. And while they're doing that, they're also going to start thinking about, did this breakup do the trick? Is this going to be what finally changes them and gets them in the right headspace to make this relationship healthier and work? So there are so many different outcomes that happen right at the breakup, but do they feel the way you feel at the very beginning? Probably not. Probably not. They were prepared. They made the decision. They were ready for it. They thought that better might be on the other side of it. And then when they find out that better was not possibly on the other side, that's when their grief really starts. That's when they get deeper into it. That's when all the regret and the remorse comes into play. And now also it's compounded by the fact that they were the ones who did the damage there and broke up the relationship and possibly hurt you in a way that's very hard to recover from. So now the heaviness of that is on them. You're probably not going to carry that if you didn't do that. So there's a lot in the aftermath. It's never just done. I wish it was. It's not. It's not. So those are some of the possibilities. But you can get through this, and you will.